This one right here is sponsored by BetUS. Now, your boy done went back and dug in the files. I'm all hyped about the game. You know what time it is. I put it in the work so you don't have to. So I wanted to spend this portion of the week talking about how to defend Patrick Mahomes. Man, San Francisco and Buffalo, out of the games that I watched, to me had the best game plans against them. Rushing for no more than 5, but most of the time predominantly rushing for game stunts and everything like that. I thought Buffalo had the better game plan and San Francisco may have had the better results. Obviously, he's playing a lot better than he played earlier in the year against San Francisco, but San Francisco was able to lead him into a few turnovers, and that's exactly what we specialize in, baby, controlling the line of scrimmage and then getting after those turnovers. And you see right here, probably unfortunate comedy of errors right there for them going against San Francisco. Keep in mind, they still won these games, right? Except the first Buffalo game there. But you can see right here, Yaka, my man, throwing it to the other team, looking so pretty right there. We need to replicate something like this. But this is how you get after it. Varying the picture for your boy Mahomes there. You see multiple linebackers mugged up in gaps. However, you just don't know who's coming, but still no more than 4 being sent. You just want to get this guy to think for a second. That's all it takes. Just think for a second. Now, if we see this right here, flush from the pocket and everything. If he's able to get into a rhythm and timing portion of this and really start hitting home there from the pocket, yeah, it's going to be lights out, right? Straight up, right? But if he's able to escape from the pocket as well, it's going to be lights out, which is why if you see right here, I'll show it, right? You get man coverage with zone principles, right? You run those zone principles, obviously it's going to be a catch moment, right? They're going to, when they get to the man, right, that's when the picture will show for him, right? But if you're able to do that while running those man concepts there, there's nobody open right here at the time, right? He would have to make some type of anticipatory throw, which could lead him into a turnover, but then you have the line right here not doing well and holding up here now. Since then, Wanye Morris has been benched. They have Joe Tooney in there at left tackle. I believe Caliendo at the left guard spot. So it's a little bit better on the line, but those guys can be had as well. But listen, this is how you make this right here. Check it out. You see the snapshot right here. You don't know who's coming up, who's staying. Not your traditional setup here on the line there. But I want you to pay attention to the linebacker right here coming from the 3 technique. Check it out right there. Right? He just becomes a spy. Right, it's crazy to think you would have to put a spy on someone like Patrick Mahomes because more than likely he's not going to beat you with his athleticism. Right, he's an above. No, I won't say that. He's an average athlete at best. Right, an average athlete at best. Somebody who dedicating a spy to just doesn't seem right. But man, for some odd reason, he just knows how to use angles and everything. There, you can see they're just rushing for. Right, it looked like at first, man, they were going to bring the house. But look how many people drop out here, right? Drop out, man coverage, being able to pass it off right here with your boy Travis Kelce there. Xavier Worthy's going to get into the seam here. But you can see that spy right there just in case he wants to buy a little bit more time. That's what it is. He starts to move up in the pocket. That's when you start to rush him there. And if you have a good enough athlete, he does not have to be in perfect position like you would with a Jayden Daniels, somebody like that. You can still probably catch up to this guy and make him make a mistake or get him on the ground. That would be the way to go there. But you can see right here, it didn't matter, right? The offensive line gets collapsed upon right there, right? So he gets fertilized. I don't know what he's getting up doing. He's getting up, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and fumbling right here. I'm not sure, right? Bang, get fertilized. I guess he thought his knee didn't hit. Man, maybe his knee didn't hit. Oh, that's interesting. When he was going down, I believe his knee hit there. Then he rolls over and then thinks he doesn't touch the ground there. So the way they play this one is almost like cover one hole. Right, having the linebacker kind of sink back a little bit, perhaps to take away a crossing route, but not necessarily, right? He's just really spying, and you see what happens right here. This is perfect. Initially acts like he's going to rush, then look who runs him down. That spy. That's nasty right there. Right, cover one, man across the board, only sending 4 again, and then look, when he tries to buy a little bit of time, that's when you collapse on him. Right, look at this. Right, looks like he's going to rush. he bags out and becomes a spy. So then that even takes the attention away of the center who doesn't think he's going to be coming there. But look at him, just mirroring Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is keeping his eyes upfield to throw the ball most of the time. So you got somebody with some quicks. I mean, you guys have to tell me who you'd like to see that. I wouldn't necessarily want to see Zach Bond do that because I believe he's probably more valuable than being a spy. But, man, Oren Burks, you know what I'm saying? He showed up last game. I could see him doing that bad boy as well. You never know how they want to play it. Maybe bring in an extra safety to do it, right? Or just have their safety. If you're playing cover one hole, have a safety drop down. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's many ways to do that right there. But you see right here, you don't need that great of an athlete to do it. Bernard's a pretty good athlete, though, so being able to fertilize him, bang, right? Fertilize him and turn him into an exotic dancer all at the same time right there. Great right there. And I like the Buffalo and San Francisco games, watching those, because I feel like they have similar personnel to us on defense there. So we're talking about the physicality and then just the amount of talent there. And look at that. Nasty. Absolutely nasty. All right, let me preface this. You're not going to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. They have too many tools in their tool bag for that to be the case. What you can do is perhaps lead them into something, right? You can run them into something. Just like, you know what I mean, my girl Clarissa Shields did to the Jordan Daniel Perkins, led her to Zombie Town. That's exactly what you can do to them, man. Force some turnovers and all that. But listen, when you're coached by my all-time favorite my all-time favorite coach, right? The great Andy Reid, the mastermind himself, he'll do whatever it takes to move his team down the field. So forcing a few turnovers, getting sacks, that's going to have to be the way to go there. And I think San Francisco and Buffalo kind of set the blueprint on that, even though, I mean, they played and defeated every single team they faced this year. So keep that in mind there. So just going a little bit of strategy, nothing disrespectful to the great Andy Reid or to Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the crew, those guys over there, right? It should be a really great game that the Eagles win. But if we see right here, right, making man look like zone and making zone look like man, I'm going to run this right here, right? And even though, you know what I mean, I don't want to say it, man. I'm getting very depressed with this. But look at this, bang. Your boy Joey and Nick Bosa, right? He channeled his inner Joey Bosa. But Nick Bosa right here going against Wanya Morris. The offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs is a little suspect, to say the least, especially on the exterior. The interior has some really good players, though, right? So I'd love to see that battle on the inside there. But let's take a look right here, right? Don't look at the front, right? Look at what's going on right here. First of all, you saw them pass off. You'll see the cornerback right here, right? He's going to be sinking into his deep, maybe deep quarters, right? It could be quarters coverage, however you want to angle that right there. He's got this deep portion here. So whomever's coming into that, it looks originally like it's going to be man. But if they vacate the premises like they do right here, look at this, right? His man's going to vacate the premises, and he's still going to stay on that particular plane right there. Same deal with the running back who was being guarded by the linebacker, right? Now he covers the flat, and you got this cornerback right here still covering where it is right there. All that does is just make Patrick Mahomes think just for a second. If you can get him to think just for a second, his line just might not hold up, especially against the Philadelphia Eagles with the type of heat that we're bringing organically with just 4 people, right? Not having to rush more than 4 and getting to this other aspect that you know that I love if you've watched this channel. You see, right? You see the switch off right there, right? Telling him to guard the flat. He turned that man into zone, and you saw right there they took away Mahomes' first option. Right, you can see him look on the first option right there. So then he's like, oh, snap. I ain't going to be able to do that, right? He's not even getting through the rest of his progressions, and he's not allowed to, obviously, because Wanya Morris right here getting that. Look at that. Oh, that was just too easy, right? My man didn't even really get a hand on him. Look at that. He's like 2 ships passing in the night, right? That was too easy right there. And Patrick Mahomes having to try to tuck and run, right? Tuck and run. Nah, it wasn't going to happen. He gets fertilized there. Great rep by that defense. All in concert. Remember, you'll never go to the same look every time against someone like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So this would be something that you would go to some of the times to kind of mix up your look. You're definitely going to mix up your coverages, and you're going to definitely be making sure that you're paying attention to the screen game. It feels like they have 5,000 different ways to call a screen pass, and they will use their entire gamut of personnel to call that screen pass. So when in man coverage, we definitely have to have our eyes peeled. But it feels like Vic Fangio was hired for this very moment, and his scheme fits playing a team like this. Yes, sir. If you haven't already, make sure you're getting over to betus.com/casino where you can get a 200% sign-up bonus up to $5,000 or a 250% sign-up bonus up to $5,000. You know how us Delaware Valiants love getting on those slot machines out in Atlantic City or out here at Casino Live. All over, baby. This is how we do it. Remember, 200% sign-up bonus up to $5,000 or a 250% crypto sign-up bonus. BetUS, where the game begins.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.